I'm Liza Richardson, and this is my fourth module. I'm an educator in nursing, and I teach fundamentals, which is the very first clinical course in nursing. And how I've been using Capacitar is primarily with the students in my job. Many of them have PTSD, and many of them are just anxious. I have a class right now that's particularly anxious, so I've used the breathing techniques and I've used the finger holds for them. I haven't gotten into using any of the head holds or anything because it's a little intimate in a setting like where I work. I have used them a lot though with my family, my kids, my daughter particularly is for some reason began having anxiety attacks. And so she's used a lot of the techniques. We've used the breathing, the Tai Chi. She doesn't live here, so sometimes I send her things attached to an email, or I've texted her the handholds. And I use them a lot myself. So I haven't found a way to deal with my voice with Capacitar. I have a funny story. When I was visiting my daughter at Christmas, we were in a laundromat washing her son's clothes because he was going back to school. And there was just too much to do at home over time. And a young girl came up to me and she said, "My name is Sarah, I'm 23, I'm bipolar, my boyfriend is bipolar. And I do all the work and he spends all the money." And I said, "Well, that's interesting." And then she said, "I'm taking medications and I hate taking medications because they make me feel funny. But my psychiatrist said if I could stop taking them, that if I could meditate, that I could stop taking them." So she said, "But I can't find my happy place. When I try to meditate, I can't find my happy place. And somebody always calls me and there's some emergency here or there." And I said, "Well, maybe I could teach you something real simple that you don't have to know a lot about. And it'll work probably the same as your happy place." So I taught her the finger holds. And when I left the laundromat, she was doing that. And sometimes I feel like Lucy, 5 cents for psychiatric help on my forehead. But it was just, I don't know what it was such an opportunity. And I don't know how I had the courage to just say, "Well, let me teach you something." Because it must have seemed weird to her, but it didn't. I thought it would, but it didn't. So I've had a lot of experiences just with people coming and talking to me. Last semester I had a student that had PTSD and he paced a lot. And he was always worried about passing the test. So I talked to him about using the finger holds and about doing some breathing and that he could walk about, but to try and find some ways to be still and to do some breathing. And by the end of the semester he seemed less anxious. But he didn't pass the exit test, which was a national test. And that kind of devastated him, but I told him, before you do the next one, just do the finger holds. And kind of go in with a bit of confidence and do the little finger a lot. Because I said, you don't really see how capable you are. And you feel like you can't do it. And he wanted to be a better father to his child. And he felt like failing the test influenced that. And I said, it has not a thing to do with that. It's just life happens. And sometimes you fail a test and then you go back and it's over. You do it. So that's my story.